Last class we discussed about info objects in BW4 HANA, how to create an info object like key figure info object, characteristic info object, and in characteristic info object, what are the different types of data types we can give. All these we learned in our last session. Okay, so today we are going to learn about master data info object, master data info objects. So what is master data info object and how we create it? What is exactly mean by master data here? Okay, this we are going to learn today. So going into the system. So let me open one Excel sheet. Okay, fine. So coming back to here, so what our topic? Master data info objects. So what is master data info object? So I told you what is master data. Master data is nothing but the data which doesn't change frequently. We call it as a master data. Okay. So now we see what exactly we see some examples, and then we understand we will learn how to create these master data info objects. Okay. So for example, if I take any material. Okay, so material is one of the master data info object in BW, not in SAP. Okay, the standard technical name for material is zero material, means a standard info object. Standard info object for material in SAP BW is zero material. Okay, so and this length what SAP provided length for this info object is 18. Okay, so if we consider material as an info object, then this is one of the master data info object. So why we are calling it as a master data, and now see what are the properties of it. For example, let's consider one material. Okay, let's take it as a soap only, which is our well-known, one of the material. Even soap is one product. Product is nothing but one material. Okay, so that is one. Yeah, we can call it as like if we take an yeah, let's take soap only. Don't go for too complicated. So if I consider soap as a material or a product, or let's take call it as a product. Okay, so if I call it one, then what are these properties? Okay, so price is one of the property of soap. Okay, dimensions, when comes to dimension, width, height. Okay, this is one of the dimensions of the soap. Okay, and next, color, brand. Okay, so what else I can give here? Yeah, let's make it simple. So let's unit. Okay, so these are all the properties of this material or product, I will say. So why I'm calling these as the properties of the material? Because for example, if I consider a soap, then each soap has its own price, has its own width, height, and length. Okay, each soap when they manufacture, it is associated with its own color. Okay, each soap has its own brand, and each soap can be considered as a unit, like for example a piece. Or if I consider it as a soap box, then I can consider it not as a piece but it's a box. Okay, the unit. If it is an individual soap, then I call the unit as a pieces. If it is a box, then I will call the unit as a box. Okay, so now sorry. So if we consider soap as a product, soap as one product, then these are all the properties of the product. Okay. So if I want, and for example, let's take one real life example, soap. And when it comes to the real life in India, we have, for example, one Santur soap. Okay, Santur soap. So it's Santur soap. It is available in different colors, different flavors. Correct. So each flavor has its own properties again. For example, sandal flavor, rose flavor, multiple flavors are there, right? So each flavored soap again considered as a different soaps here. So what I need to get, like sandal santur. Let's take they are calling it as a sandal santur. Sandal soap, Santur sandal soap, I think. Okay, then here when it comes to color, then it is a what kind of color I don't know, but it comes under Santur brand. Okay, and call it as a unit as a pieces, and its price, for example, here around 30 INR, 30 rupees. Price contains again currency, right? So what currency, under what currency it is? So 30 INR. And when comes to your rose flower, Santur rose flower. Okay, so now why I'm giving this much example means, so for example, this soap is there, right? So these properties of the soap doesn't change frequently. So the price of the soap, once it was fixed, it doesn't change from the company side until unless there are some very critical situations like market down and up and down. That time only we can see the price change, or else this price never change. And once the Santur soap was designed in one color, sandal soap, mostly they won't change the color of the soap. And if they change it, then they will brand it as a new soap. Correct. So that's why the properties which doesn't change frequently, we call it as a attributes, we call it as a master data. Okay. And in this master data, when this master data wants to save in our BW environment, then each column in this information is nothing but one info object in BW. Okay. So for this, for example, either zero material or zero product, I can use. Okay, and to store the price information, I can use zero amount column. Okay, to store the width information, I may have one standard info object called width. To store the height information, I may create one custom info object or a standard info object called zero height. To store my color, I can create one G object called color, G color. Okay, to store the brand information, there will be one info object called zero brand. To store the unit information, I can create zero unit. To store the currency information, I may use one of the standard unit called zero currency. So to store this particular information in my computer, in our BW, I need to create one, I need to associate one info object for each column. Okay, and from H to N, all these columns are the properties of this material. First of all, consider each column as one info object, and second point, first point is each one is one info object, and the second point is the first one, which is product, is a master data, and the remaining all info objects are properties of this master data. Okay, so when comes to the second point, what will we do is, first of all, we create individual info objects, and later we add all these info objects are attributes, properties. Till now I said these as a properties of this info object, but when comes to BW terminology, we add them as a attributes of this info object. Then this particular then we can store this information into our system. So let's take one more example and make it in our system, create in our system. So what I will do is, I will take info object called zero material. Okay, for this zero material, I take one unit called zero base unit. Each material contains its own unit. Okay, and color and brand. Okay, material, color, brand, and what else I can give here. That's it. Let's make it simple. So let's take only four columns. So for what I said, first of all, I want these four info objects. So whenever I want to create something in the system, first I need to search whether any standard object available in the system for this or not. Okay, so what I need to search? I need to search for this. I know I can give zero material. So do I have zero material first of all available in my system? Let's see. Zero material. You see, zero material info object is available in my system. So I can use zero material here, and zero base unit obviously will be there, but we can search one more time to get proper one. Zero base underscore unit. Wait here. Mm. So search completed, but it doesn't found. Maybe what I given technically it is wrong. Zero base Let's take zero base. You see, zero base underscore UIM, not unit, but it is called UIM. Okay, and for color, I need one standard info object. Let's see where do we have anything. Zero color, nothing is found. So let's make it simple. Zero color. Okay, it is not there. Okay, so then I need to create one custom info object for color. So I will create one info object G. I follow one naming convention called GHA color. So info object will accept, you know, yesterday we seen, right? It accepts only 9 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are good. And then brand. So let's see any standard info object available for brand. Zero brand. You see, oh, there is a data source, but there is no info object for the brand. Okay, so now what to do next? Here I am searching every time. It is taking some time. Okay, but you know, here when I found some info object, maybe I may miss some of the info objects which are not active. Let's go to SAP GUI. Okay, I will tell you another way of searching info objects. Instead of searching every time from the search button, we have another way of searching info objects in the system. 1 second. Okay, BW4. Okay, go to SC11. Okay, all the info objects in the system are stored on one table. RSDIOBJ. RSDIOBJ is one of the standard table where all the info objects information was stored. Okay, standard, installed, inactive, active, all kind of objects information can be found here. Now here go and give brand. Brand is a keyword. I am going to search, give here, click on execute. You see there is one info object called zero ACN brand, but there is no info object called zero brand, G brand. So okay, I'll leave it then. So I'm going to create one more info object called GNGHABRAND brand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is also fine. So now I'm going to, first of all, first two are standard info objects. So I need to create two more info objects. When I'm going to create info objects, what else I need to think of? What was the data type? So data type for both of them is char. Okay, data type is char. And the next point to think of is length. So color, I will take it as, you know, 10, and the brand also I will take it as a 10. Okay, or let's take it brand. Okay, 10, 10. Okay, to make it simple, let's take it as 10, 10. Okay, so now I'm going to create this info object GHA color. So I'm going to my info area, right click, new info object. Just to better, let's create custom info objects for material also. GHA material, right? Matner. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so why I'm given Matner here? Matner is a R3 system standard field for material. Okay, or else let's take, instead of material, let's consider it as a product. Okay, ZHA product, DUCT. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to reduce one. So I need to reduce because I told you, right? I need to remove the vowels first. So I am going to create a G product first. Create info object. Where is info object? Here. G product. Okay, characteristic. I'm giving the length as 18 here. Okay, activate it. So done with creation of one info object. Okay, it's very simple. Next, create one more info object for color. Right click, or else directly right click on characteristic, because this is also a characteristic. Create color. Okay, finish. And we thought of giving length as 10, right? Activate. and then brand, right click, new, characteristic, brand, finish. Let's take it 10 length, activate. Okay, done. So I have all the three custom info objects, and this unit one info object, I will use it as a base unit of measure. Now in this particular information, the last three fields are nothing but properties of my product. So these are the properties of my product. This is my master data. Product is my master data, and the base unit, color, and the brand are the properties of it. Now what I am going to do is I am going to add these three as attributes to my uh, first of all I need to make sure my product is a master data. Okay, so first of all, go to the product info object, close everything, open product info object. You see this info, in this info object on the right hand side you have some properties, master data, text, hierarchies. So I am telling in our requirement product is a master data. In that case you have to enable this tick mark as a master data. Okay, you see earlier we have three tabs: general, BI, client, extended. Whenever you select master data checkmark here, you got one more extra tab called master data slash text and attributes. Clear? These two tabs extra added when you enable the master data, okay, which are required for this master data info object. So you enabled it once, activate it once. Okay, now go to the attributes tab. In the attributes tab, now you need to add the properties of this master data. So what are the properties of this master data? Zero base unit. Generally, I am calling it as a properties, but in BW terminology, we call them as attributes of the master data. So what is the first attribute? Zero base unit of measure. Go to add, select the info object, click on OK. You see it was added. Next, I want to add color. Select color, go to add, select the field, double click on it. You see color also added here. Now next, add the brand, add this one also, double click on it. You see now I added all the three properties or three attributes to my master data info object. Now activate it. That's it. So now you almost created one master data info object along with its attributes. Okay, so now next important point to understand here is, for each and every master data info object in BW, there are some tables associated with it. What I'm saying, for each and every master data in BW4 HANA or BW on HANA, there are some master data tables associated with it. Okay, na? So what are those master data tables that we are going to learn now? Okay, so what are those, where I can find those? One second. P table. Okay, so now copy the name of this info object. Copy the name of this info object. Okay. Um, One second. Is it somewhere hiding? Okay, yeah, no problem. Go copy the info object technical name. Okay, go to the SAP GUI, go to SE11. SE11 is for ABAP dictionary, where we can find all the tables. Give star star, in between give the info object name and press F4 or press this button, L button. You see there are two tables now currently available on this info object name. One is P table, another one is S table. Why I am calling it as P table? Because P was prefixed to my info object name. Here S was prefixed to my info object name. So slash BIC slash is nothing but a custom info object it is representing. Okay, na? So the first table is nothing but master data time independent characteristic provider, and the second one is SID. Okay, so the first table, let's go to the first table. Generally, when we talk about master data info object, so in the P table, you can find the properties, attributes of the master data. Go to display of this table. You see the info object, which is GHA product, and followed by its attributes, base unit of measure, color, and brand. Okay, object version changed on is nothing but standard fields which are coming on this table. Okay, so now we created the master data info object. This is the information as of now what you need to learn. Now I want to maintain some master data. Earlier in our example, I written some master data on the Excel sheet. But now what we are going to do is, since we created one master data, let's load some data into it. How I can do that? I can do that in two ways. One is manual updating of master data. The other one is loading mass data from a flat file. Okay. How I can update the master data? I can update the master data in two ways. The first way is manual update. Okay. The second one is mass upload using flat file. Okay, so first we will learn about manual update, and then we will learn about how to upload mass data. Like mass upload means a huge data set into this master data by using a flat file. So first of all, how to update master data? You see, when you come to this master data general tab, next to master data, there is a master data maintenance link is there. If you click on it, then it will ask you, it will open in a browser. So I am using my Chrome browser here. Okay, so yeah, it is showing some security warnings. Go to advanced, select proceed to this site, continue. It is asking for again user ID and password to my system. So I am giving BMW this one, and my password here, and click on log on. So now you see A4H, this is the system ID, change master data of info object GHA product. Okay, so now here I can update my master data manually. So here you see what we do is we will update some information here. So let's take some examples. Uh, Color brand. So what is the best example? Colors and all we take here. Santur. Not soap. Not soap. Not soap. Color. Okay, pens. Let's take a pen. Okay. Not pen also. Let's take one company which talks about color. Okay, paint. Let's take since I am talking about color, blue, Asian paint. Okay, let's talk about paint. So then base unit of measure is one piece, nothing but one bottle, right? They will sell in bottles, right? So BT, base unit of measure, BT means bottle. So I am using it as a BT. And color. So blue means color, obviously, since it is talking about blue color. And brand, Asian paint. So I am giving Asian here. Okay, Asian paints is my brand. So I given only 10 length, right? So see, Asian paints, when I'm trying to type enter my description, it is not allowing. So that's why what will happen is generally in our BW system, Asian, when it comes to brand, we may have multiple brands, right? So that's why brand is also one kind of master data. So Asian paints, I will give it as ASP. Okay, nothing but Asian paints. I am giving the keyword ASP. Later I maintain the text of ASP as Asian paints. Okay, I added one record. If I want to add one more record into it, just go here, add line. Okay, for example, red Asian paint. Okay, so this is also base unit of measure bottle, and then here it is color is red, and the brand is ASP. And whatever master data I am uploading in the product column, each and every record must have a unique value. If I try to enter same record again, system won't accept. Okay, here product is the key for this particular master data. Okay, I entered 2 records. After entering 2 records, click on save. Click on save. That's it. Okay, so data was saved. Data was saved. That's it. Close this one. Go back here. Now, if you whatever data you saved, now if you want to see the master data of this info object, either you can again click on the master data maintenance, or if you want to check this information from the backend, which is from the SAP GUI, then go to the P table of the info object, go to content, click on execute. Now you see you are seeing 2 entries. Every master data info object must have one blank entry, okay, which is completely blank. This is a default entry, so which we cannot delete also. And now you see here the screen what I am seeing, the table representation, it is called list display, which doesn't have much features. Okay, so I am going to change the what property of this view to grid view. Settings, user parameters, ALV grid display. So ALV grid display is having much more functionalities when compared to list display. Okay, here I can sort ascending, descending, put filters, export to Excel sheet. Okay, change the layout. So many options will be available if I change my layout into grid layout. Okay, so this is how we maintain master data manually. Now, what we are going to learn today is we will learn how to upload master data from a flat file. I told you, right? We can upload master data in 2 different ways. One is manual update, another one is mass upload using flat file. So now let's see how to upload the data using a flat file data source. But before doing that, first prepare some data, then we will do the next steps in the system. Okay. For this, what I am going to do is I am going to create one, going to take one new Excel sheet. Okay. In this Excel sheet, I am going to prepare, I have to prepare data for these 4 columns. One is product, next one is base unit of measure, color and brand. So I already created 2 entries, Asian blue and red Asian paint. So what else, other brands we have? So I forgot the brands. Wall paint brands. I think here it won't work. Just a second. Okay. So now let's create one file with the multiple records. Okay. So we have one more brand called Indigo. Okay. Indigo is one of the brand. So what I'm going to give is IND. For Indigo paints, I'm giving the code as IND. So here also let's take white indigo. One second. I need to give everything in capital letters. White indigo paint. And then base unit of measure is a bottle only because paint will come in the bottles only. Color is white here. Yellow indigo, bottle. Here let's give yellow. And then blue. Underscore IND is one product. BT blue IND. So we can create a number of records in this way, but just to, since we want to learn only the topic, so I am restricting my data into 3 records only. Okay, so I created one file. I am not yet created, but I am preparing a file with this information because I know my master data info object JDH product containing 3 attributes. Now when I am maintaining master data for this info object, so which information it is asking? It is asking information about these 4 fields only, which we already seen in our last screens. That's why I am preparing a file with this 4 information, 4 columns information. So how I am going to save this file now? No, I am not going to save this file as a Excel file. I am going to save this file as a CSV file. Okay, what kind of file it is? As a CSV comma delimited file. Okay, product master. and save as type, I'm going to save it as a CSV comma delimited file. Okay, na? I'm going to save this one. Done. Yes, close. Don't say. Go to the browser here, downloads, sorry, documents. Here you can see product master was saved in CSV file. So this is first part. So in our mass upload using Flatwell, in this scenario, the first point is preparing file. Prepare the file to be uploaded. So what was the second point? Second point is create data source. Okay, so in here now I'm going to create a data source because I told you now. Yeah. So what is this data source? So any information to be loaded into our BW system, we should bring the data from outside world or any SAP sources into BW in the form of data source only. Data source act as a pathway, okay, to bring any information from outside world into the BW, even it is from SAP also. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one data source now, where I can create data sources. So for example, if you see our system, here we have three sections: favorites, repository, and data sources. Under data sources section, we need to create our data source. Here again, we have many connections, correct? Now I need to create, I said, right, it is a flat file data source. Okay, so I need to create my data source under the connection file. These are all different connections created for my BW4 HANA system. Now I need to go to file connection. In the file connection, these are all different connections created. Type of connections, this is connection. So let me take file system. Under file system, now I am going to create my data source. If I expand my file system, so what you're seeing in this yellow color, these are all nothing but application components. Okay, right click here, you can see create, go to new, you see application component. This yellow color mark can be called as application component. So how we create objects under one info area? In the same way, we must create a data sources under one application component. So either we can use any existing one or we can create our own application component. Go to create our own application component called GHA underscore app underscore comp. Okay, application component. So Harsha application component. So whatever you create from now on, any in data sources, we are going to create under this application component only. Okay, I am right clicking here under this create new data source. Now I am going to create a data source. So this is the first screen while creating a data source. Here source system is file system. Source type is file. Click on next here. Now you see you select template or source object. So it is asking template. So yeah, let's say as of now give it none. I will tell you what is template later because it is again a big story. Now coming to the name, description, data type. So as I told you in BW4 HANA, anything we create, it is containing one technical info object name and one description. So I need to give my data source name. So to follow some naming convention here, what I am going to give my technical name as GDS underscore, okay, GDS underscore, what is my info object name? GHA product, or else I can give product here also. Okay, product underscore attributes. And why? Because I'm giving product underscore ATTR. ATTR is nothing but attributes information. So I'm going to load product attribute information via using this data source. That's why I'm giving product. Instead of product here, you can give the info object name also, GHA PRDU product. I think this one we given here, and description here product master data and data source type. When creating a data source type, we have four types of data sources. One is master data attributes, text, hierarchies, transactional data. So now whatever file we created currently, this file we created to update the master data attributes. So I have to select the master data attributes here. Okay, and then click on finish. So now this is the screen what you will get. So now go to the extraction tab. In the extraction tab, you need to browse your file. Okay, under the file name, you have to browse your file. Go to browse section, select your file, click on open. Okay, so now what it is saying, the next option, ignore header rows. So whatever file I prepared here, I'm opening my file in Notepad. Okay, so if you see my notepad here in my file, the first line what I have is not a data field. It is a heading field, correct? It's a header. It's not my data. So that's what it is asking in my while creating. Do you want to ignore any header rows? Yes. How many header rows I have? I have one header row which is to be ignored while loading the data load, because this is the only the data it has to consider. So I'm giving one here. And what is my data separator? Here see, my data was separated with the comma, correct? So I need to separator, change this update to comma. That's it. You need to change this, you need to provide the file name and the header rows ignored and data separator. No need to change anything else. Okay. Next thing is show file content, derive fields from file. So what it is showing is next we have, when we go to next tab, you see it is a fields tab. So none of them is added. To make our life easy, what we can do is we can click on the symbol called derive fields from file. If you click on it, what it will do is it will read our file. Since it is comma delimited, it will split our file into multiple columns based upon the comma separator. So we have around 4 columns in our file. So now these 4 columns will be updated in my field section. You see, product, base unit, color. So earlier we don't have fields information here, but whenever I click on this derive fields from file, it is reading our file, separating each column based upon comma separator, and from the first column it is deriving the field name. Okay, because first row is the header row, it is deriving field information from the first row. Okay, so if I click on product, while creating these files, system will assign some length also. It will assign the data type and length automatically based upon the data available in my file. So you see here for product, it is given data type as char, length as 10. How it given 10? Because in our file, if you take any product, the max length of the product is 10. That's why it is given 10 here. But we know this is actually of length 18 as per my InfoObject properties. So that's why select here in 18. If you don't know the length, if you know only the InfoObject, then assign InfoObject template also. From here also you can assign GHA PRDUCT product. If you select and click on OK, browse, double click OK. InfoObject type possibility, yeah, product. Okay, then let's go to base unit of measure. Here you will get to know. Here it is showing length as 2, but if I go here, select 0 base underscore UOM, enter. You see the length automatically got changed to 3. And now go to color. Color, it is showing max length as 6. But if I assign my InfoObject GHA color, then you see the length automatically turned into 10. How it turned into 10? It taken the reference from my InfoObject. This InfoObject length is 10, so it changes the length here also to 10. So like this, by assigning corresponding InfoObjects, okay, to each field, the length and the text of these fields will be taken care automatically. Okay, so I have created 4 fields here, and then click on activate. Okay, so now see, now the data source got activated. You see the symbol, data source symbol, it is now activated. So what next? What next is, now using this as a bridge to my master data, I am going to bring my text file. I am going to load data from my CSV file into the master data. So what you need to do is first copy the data source name and keep it somewhere handy. Okay, now go to our InfoObject. Go to favorites, go to our product master data. Right click here, go to new, create one transformation. Okay, now I am going to deal with a new object called a new thing called a transformation. What is this? Now I have to load data from my flat file into my BW source by using transformation, by using this data source as a intermediate layer. So I'm going to create now one transformation. Here you get to know everything. Okay. When I create a transformation to my master data, it will ask what is a transformation. First of all, a transformation is a bridge, is a mapping definition between source and target. Here my target is product, from where I am going to load my data. I am going to load my data from a data source. So select data source here, go to browse and search our data source, click on OK, click on finish. Now you can see how what is this transformation is. So nothing to change on the first screen. Go to rules tab. On the rules tab, you see this is called transformation. Okay. In that transformation, we define rules. What are rules? Rules are nothing but from which field, the field from which field, which field in the source is equivalent to which field from the target. So my data must flow from this column, product column, into target product column. So that's why we have a mapping like this. Okay, let's delete one mapping and I will show you how to do mapping here. If a mapping was not happened automatically, delete rule. Okay, so if any mapping was not happened automatically, then just click here and drag and drop this field into the target field. Automatically this mapping will be happened. Okay, so these lines will come. So my product from the source, my first column is matching to the first column on my target. Second column base UIM in my file is matching to the base UIM on my target. Like this, this mapping is defined. Okay, so now activate this transformation. Done. Transformation was activated. Now if you go to my product master left side, if you see the product master data, there is a arrow mark, expand tree button. This is called tree button. It came under it. Now you can see one transformation folder. Under this you can see the transformation technical name. Each transformation has its corresponding unique technical name. This is the first one is technical name, and later it is followed by the information called something like this RS, which is showing here what is source and what is target. Here RSDS is nothing but data source type and data source name, and after that we can see InfoObject type and the InfoObject technical name. So this transformation represents the mapping between source and the target. Okay, so now transformation is created. Now on top of this transformation, we have to create one DTP called data transfer process. Now what is this DTP? This DTP uses this mapping information and transfers data from source into the target. Okay, just click on next, click on finish. Because only one transformation is there, nothing much to see here. Just click on and activate it. Okay, in the DTP, now you see in the DTP, we have again multiple tabs are there: general tab, extraction tab, update tab, runtime properties. Okay, in the general tab, you see the what is the extraction mode full. So there is one more extraction mode called delta that I will explain in the next sessions. Okay, as of now, let's keep it full here and then go to extraction tab. In the extraction tab, it is telling from where it is fetching data. What is actually this DTP? DTP means data transfer process. Okay, in this data transfer process, okay, it will define, it will create, it will done the required things to bring data from source and write into the target. All the logic will be, all the process will be taken care by this step. So in the extraction tab, here I can see what is my source information. My source is nothing but my file information, my file master.cv. Here it's already taken all the inputs from the data source. Okay, how many header rows to be ignored, what was the data separator and everything. Now go to the runtime properties. Not here. Update mode is also not required. Simply click on this execute symbol. You see there is one execute symbol here. We need to click on execute in dialog. Okay, or else just simply click on that icon. So it will open one window from like this. Click on execute symbol. Okay, So start request. Now what is happened? System asking permission to read the file. Do you want to see the request monitor? Request has status, processed successfully. Do you want to display the request monitor? So here click on no. Why? Because as it was a BW4 HANA system, if you click on yes also, nothing happens. Yeah, okay, this came, but you cannot see that manage button. You see here there is some system information provided. What is the request ID, when this DTP started, when this was finished, what was the status of this DTP. Green means successful here. Okay na? And here you see some system logs. In the logs, this is called one data packet. It is showing 3 data records. If I expand it, it is telling 3 records read from the source and it return to the target. Okay, now if I go to this administered data target, so I am getting information like this. Okay, 3 records are there. So data was loaded. Finally, what I need to do, let me go to the backend system and see the table content. Refresh here. You see my 3 records which are from Indigo got added: blue indigo, white indigo, yellow indigo. So finally, data was loaded into the target. How this data came, from where this data came? This data was read from the file, whatever file we created. From this file, this DTP read the information and processed and stored in our master data table. Okay, so in this table, the product and object versions are the key. How this product become as a key? Okay, so to understand this information, when I am explaining this master data information, what I said, so product is a master data and remaining all are the attributes of this master data. Okay, so what will happen? For example, Santur sandal soap is there. Okay, for example, if I try to load again same record one more time into this master data, what you are expecting? If I am loading one more time same record into this master data, system doesn't allow to write. Okay, if you are manually try to maintain same record one more time with a different cost into this master data, system doesn't allow. Okay, you should modify the existing record only. Okay, why? Because this entire information is a master data for which all these are attributes of my master data product. Okay, so always product is a master data. So this is the key for which we call it as a master data. It acts as a key and the attributes acts as a data columns. Same thing you can see here in my table. Product is the key and whatever attributes we added, all these are data fields to this table. Okay, that's it. So that's why product becomes key here, and object version changed on object version is also key here. This is a system property which we discuss later point, but at this point of time this is enough. Okay, so I'm stopping class for today at this point. So today what we learned exactly? Today we learned what is master data info object. Okay, so this topic we learned here, how to maintain master data manually and how to upload master data via flat file data source. Okay, so these are the topics we discussed today. Now what I am going to do is I am going to give an assignment for tomorrow by covering these topics. Okay, so what was the assignment I'm going to give? Let me try to go to the system and give the assignment, or let me give assignment here itself. Okay, let me create one new sheet for assignment. So assignment, so let's take this is a day 2 assignment. Okay, day 2 assignment. What was assignment? I will ask you to create below info objects. Okay, so create info object called, this is a first I will write info object technical name. Okay, then description.
Sir, na మాట వినిపిస్తుందా సార్ మీకు?
Yeah, now I can able to hear you. So this is the session examples for tomorrow. Okay, assignment for tomorrow. So you have to create below info objects, info object technical name, info object description. Okay, and then I'm going to give the data type also for your clarity, and length. Okay, length also I'm going to give. That's it. Yeah.
సార్
So
మళ్ళా
create.
నేను
Yeah.
క్రియేట్ బిలో ఇన్ఫో ఆబ్జెక్ట్
So I'm giving here create a G country, GHA country, CNTRY. Okay, create this info object, text as country, description of this info object is country, data type is char, length is 3. Okay, and then create GHA state. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, and state char state, right? 3 digits. Okay, GHA 1 second, GHA. Let's make it simple. Let's create these two info objects only. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, this is first point. So create below info objects is the first point. My second point for this assignment here is, okay, create to below data source, or else no, not create data source, maintain below master data for info object GHA CNTRY. So for the country info object, you maintain the below master data. Okay. No. One second. Sorry. Maintain below. Sorry. I think we need to give a different way. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. Not this. Enable, because I didn't explain text also yet. Enable master data for GHA state info object. So this is your second task. You need to enable the master data for GHA state. Okay. Then the third step is add GHA CNTRY as an attribute to country master data. I'm not typing the technical name. If I say country master data, nothing but this is the info object name. Okay. So next what you need to create, maintain below master data in GHA CNTRY manually. So try to maintain the below master data in this country master data, below master data in GHA country, not country, GHA state. Okay, state manually. So how to maintain? You have in this master data, you will find two columns. One is GHA country, another one is GHA state and GHA country. So give here state as TL and country as IND, and give AP, give IND, and give DUS, and give DE. Okay, give like this. MUND. Okay, maintain this master data manually on your no, let's delete this one. Let's maintain the about two master data manually in this info object. So second thing, nextly, fifth point, create a flat file data source with or else I don't explain everything manually. I will ask you upload directly. Upload below master data via flat file into GHA state master data. So this means you need to create one data source. You need to create First of all, you need to create one file with this information, and then you need to create a data source, and then you need to create a transformation, and then you need to create a DTP and upload this information into your data source, into your master data. Okay, upload below master data via flat file into GHA state master data. So these two records you have to maintain manually, and the below two records you have to maintain via flat file upload. I will review tomorrow this assignment, and if you have any questions, I can clear you. Okay, that's all. I'm stopping recording.